The room was dimly lit. A single candle flickered on the table, and Jonathan Roumie sat in total silence. It was 3 a.m., and he hadn't slept in days. His Bible sat open, untouched for hours. His hands trembled outside. Thunder rolled through the California sky. He looked up and whispered, "God, if I'm wrong about this, please stop me now." He was about to walk away from the audition. He had told no one, not his agent, not his friends, not even his priest. The role was too big, too sacred, too dangerous, Jesus. He didn't feel worthy, and yet a sign was coming, a sign so clear, so unmistakable, that it would leave him trembling on his knees. That was the night everything changed. But before we get there, you need to understand the battle behind that screen, because the world only sees the robe, the crown of thorns, the soft eyes, and the calm voice. What they don't see is the man and what nearly broke him. This is the untold story of how Jonathan Roumie knew with terrifying clarity that God himself had chosen him to step into the sandals of the Son of Man, and why, even now, he still cries when he talks about it. Before the chosen, Jonathan Roumie was invisible. He lived in a tiny apartment in Los Angeles. He worked odd jobs: barista, voice actor, PA on film sets. No one recognized him on the street. No one asked him to pray with them. He was just another face in a crowd of dreamers, and he was broke. There were nights I didn't know how I'd eat. He once admitted he had $86 in his bank account. His car was broken down. And yet, every morning he prayed. Not for fame, not for a role, just for purpose. "Lord, use me, however you want, but please speak." Nothing happened. For years, then came a strange email. A small, independent project was casting a Jesus short film, directed by a guy named Dallas Jenkins. He was looking for someone with humility, someone who could bring Jesus to life. Not with Hollywood polish, but with compassion. Roumie felt something stir. Not excitement, not ambition, but something deeper still. He hesitated. He had played Jesus before, once in a church play. It had shaken him. It felt too real, he said. I could feel the weight of it in my chest, but this was different. This wasn't just a scene, that was the beginning of something that would echo around the world still. When the callback came, Roumie froze. He sat in his car, script in hand, unable to move. He felt sick, sweaty, dizzy. This is crazy. Who do I think I am then? His phone buzzed. A text from a number he didn't recognize. He opened it. It was one word. B. That was it. Just B. He stared at it, stunned. No name, no context. And when he tried to reply, the number no longer existed. He looked at the message. Again B. Be what? Be brave. Be honest. Be like him. He didn't know, but something cracked open in his soul, and he walked into the audition room. Pause. "Hi, I'm Jonathan." He said it softly, like a confession. Dallas Jenkins looked up from the table and smiled. "Let's begin." They shot the short film in a matter of days. Tight budget, tight schedule. But when the footage came back, Dallas was stunned. "This isn't acting," he whispered. "This feels holy." There was one scene in particular, Jesus praying over a blind man. Roumie barely remembered filming it. He had wept through the entire take. Something had taken over the crew, had gone quiet. Even the sound guy had stopped what he was doing, eyes brimming with tears. But it wasn't until weeks later that the sign finally came. Jonathan was walking home one night. It was just past midnight. He had just left adoration at his parish. He was tired, hungry, still unsure about the future. "God," he prayed silently, "if you really want me to do this, I need you to tell me plainly. I don't want to dishonor you." He rounded a corner and stopped. A homeless man was sitting on the curb, wrapped in blankets, holding a sign. Jonathan had seen 100 signs like it before, but this one made him freeze. It read, "He chose you." Just that, nothing else. Jonathan blinked, looked again. "Excuse me," he said. "Where did you get that sign?" The man looked up, smiled softly, and said, "I didn't make it. I just found it." Jonathan fell to his knees, right there, on the sidewalk, tears pouring down his face. "He chose me," he whispered. He reached for his phone to take a picture, but the man was gone, vanished into the night. Only the sign remained. He picked it up with trembling hands. "He chose you." Pause. That was the moment. That was the sign. Not from casting directors, not from Hollywood, from God. "I didn't need anything else after that," Roumie said later. "I knew, deep in my soul, that this was sacred ground." When The Chosen launched, the world changed. Millions watched, cried, prayed, and Jonathan, he stayed humble. Every day before filming he still prays, "Less of me, Lord, more of you." He knows it's not about him. It never was. If he ever tells me to walk away, Jonathan says I will. I'll drop it all, because this isn't mine, it's his. But until that day, he keeps going, scene by scene, prayer by prayer. Not for the fame, not for the attention, but because, when God calls you, you answer. Even if you're terrified, even if you feel unworthy, even if all you have is $86 in your bank account and a whisper in your heart. Because sometimes, all it takes is one sign, one moment, one act of faith, and the world is never the same again. And that is how Jonathan Roumie knew, with total, trembling certainty, that he was called to play Jesus Christ, not because he was perfect, but because he was chosen.